Everyone talking about Incense Extreme by Tower. This is based more around frankincense than the typical incense that people would normally think of. The notes in this are incense, frankincense, touch of spice, powdery orris, cedarwood, ambergris, and regular incense. So it's regular incense and frankincense, I guess. But I have to say, I think that this is really not well named. And that seems to be a common sentiment from other people, what I've seen saying on Fragrantica. If I see something called Incense Extreme, I'm expecting something extreme, God forbid. Like, something really smoky or really kind of like some hard spice maybe with it too, and just intense, dark. But this ain't it. So to me, it opens almost like a salty gourmand type of thing, like savory, aromatic, kind of like something that I would expect coming from the kitchen at like a Thai food restaurant, which is like, okay, great, I would love that on a plate. I don't want to smell like that, and I don't particularly want to smell that on another person. That lasts kind of a decent amount of time, and there's an element of that carries over for most of the fragrance for me, but after 15 minutes or so in the beginning, it does get into more of what it happens to turn into for the rest of the fragrance. I don't even know if I would guess that there was incense in this, honestly, if I didn't know. It's just, very aromatic, kind of smoky, spicy, a bit powdery, woodsy, salty, and on one hand, I don't dislike it necessarily, but I think because of my expectations going into it, what type of fragrance this was going to be, then for it to turn into something that was just like, and it's not even that it's not unique. It doesn't smell necessarily just like anything else, but it just doesn't give you what you're thinking from that title, and I don't think that I'm alone in thinking that. Yeah, and by the dry down, it's just it's like a warmer, ambery, salty wood set type of thing. And I'm a lot more cool with the dry down than I am with the opening, but my philosophy on fragrances personally is that if I don't like the opening, especially if I outright dislike it, I don't care how good the dry down is. I want to feel, enjoyment when I put on the fragrance. Also, I don't want to have to time something like, oh, I'm going to see someone in exactly 30 minutes. Okay, I better put this on now. Oh, it stinks. Oh, what if they get here early? Like, I need to like a fragrance the whole time. It's okay if one phase is a lot better than another, but that's just me. Some people don't care about that. They're fine with the opening they don't like if they like the dry down. And yeah, I think the dry down's perfectly nice. There's almost like a rubbery sort of leathery quality to it at some points, not just the dry down, but the mid as well, which I kind of like. But overall, I would say just if you do try this, do not go into it thinking, yeah, kick-ass incense scent, like that you're really going to get some explosive, smoky type of thing, or something that smells like the incense that sticks or whatever you're traditionally thinking of with that. I saw some people, in Fragrantica reviews being like, it's mainly frankincense, that's what's extreme about it, you can't judge it because it doesn't smell like regular incense, and acting like people were so dumb for that. But it's like, okay, if it's called Incense Extreme, incense in fragrance usually is, especially in titles, used to mean kind of more the traditional kind of incense, and they'll often just say like olibanum or something if it's frankincense. So I don't think it's unreasonable for people to go into that expecting it. This does lean masculine to me. It could still be unisex, but it does lean a bit masculine, kind of in just like a woodsy, deep sort of spice type of way. Ultimately, I would say who should try it would be, especially if you like other Tower fragrances, that does kind of have a bit of the usual flair that some of those have in the base. And again, it's somewhat unique. If you're interested in the idea of something that kind of starts a bit green, some spice, then, has a really salty side of it, and woodsy, but not too smoky, then yeah, I guess try it. $185 for a 50 ml bottle, or $4 for a sample. I'll put the link in the description. In terms of the price, I would say it depends on the quality of the ingredients. On one hand, I think Tower uses really high quality stuff. The bottle's really cool. This isn't the most unreasonable price ever, especially for a really luxurious niche house, sort of, but yeah, I guess it just kind of depends on your taste if that price is worth it. It's not inherently unfair, but for me, it's just not something that I would consider to be worth it. It just doesn't stand out as something enjoyable to me to smell.